All right, so we have one of the stars of Netflix Tiger King, John Finley, jumping on with us right now. John, thank you so much for hopping on with me and taking the time to chat.
Thanks for having me on.
So I got to ask you right out of the gate. Everyone at Barstool is a huge fan of the show, a huge fan of yours. Before we get into all that, let me see the teeth, man, because I got a little glimpse of them before, and they look fantastic. They look great. Now I know you had those before the documentary came out, but the producers didn't want to use them. Is that right?
Correct.
How
I
did
had them. The last interview I did with them, I had them in,
Gotcha.
and I think
Cool.
I actually had them in when I had my tattoo done too.
Interesting. Yeah, well, they look great. So congrats on that. So I got to ask you, how are you dealing with the fame? I've seen you on David Spade's show. I've seen you on, all these late night shows. You're popping up everywhere. Has it just been overwhelming for you? How are you handling it?
I have a great team that helps support me and gets me in the groove and stuff. And I just pretty much take it one day at a time. That's all you really can do is one day. Then they help get me prepared for the next. And
Yeah, man, that's all you can do is one day at a time. Did you have any idea when they were filming the documentary that this was going to be as big as it is? Or were you just kind of like living in the moment? And so this was just your life. You're like, oh, yeah, some cameras will come in, they'll film me, whatever. I think it's for Netflix. And then how are you handling that? I mean, did you know it was going to be as big?
no, we had no idea it was going to be number one worldwide. And uh, when I started filming with him was like after I'd left the park and everything, and nobody had a clue that it would be this big, or that I didn't even think that I knew it was going to be Netflix until it was announced that it was coming out.
Yeah, I think there's something like, oh, got a little feedback there. I think there's something like 19 million people watch us in the first days, which is in the first 10 days, which is an incredible number to think about. It's got to be overwhelming for you who have just kind of been. So you went to the camp, you went to the zoo in 2003 when you were 19, right?
Correct.
Can you talk a little about how you got set up with the zoo and how you met Joe?
um, I basically just needed a job. I was a month out of high school, and the rest is all on video.
So you were so how long were you there for before you left?
16 years.
And the majority of that time you weren't getting paid.
Correct.
So how did that work? So it was essentially like the way and I mean no disrespect when I say this. It was because I'm a gay guy, so I don't think it's a joke that a guy marries another guy. But was it essentially like a gay for pay type situation where he basically took you in, provided you with food, provided you with shelter, provided you with things, and in turn you were just kind of like he was the Hugh Hefner and you were the playmate kind of deal?
No, not at all. I basically had to work for everything I got because there was really no free ride whatsoever. Everybody worked, everybody got what they needed or needed to have. So,
Did you get any special treatment around the zoo, being that you were his guy?
no, I actually had to work just like everybody else.
So what were your daily chores like?
um, I didn't really have any daily chores. I did like the special task. I was always involved with the moving of the animals. I was the welder, maintenance man, just basic all around guy.
So what's like a typical day for you at the zoo? You get up in the morning at what time? There's obviously a team there. Are you feeding cats? Are you welding things? I know you're a welder. Are you doing cage repairs?
We actually couldn't even plan a day out because something else would just come up and we had to take care of it, or you never knew what was going to happen the next day or even that night. So you don't know whether you're going to be able to sleep all night or what.
Um, yeah, no, it's interesting to see how people were portrayed in the documentary versus how they are in real life, because I've seen some interviews that have been done with other cast members, and obviously the creative process in any film or documentary is going to make people look the way they want them to look for the benefit of the product. So, and I know that you had some issues with the way you were portrayed within the documentary. Can you talk a little about what those were? And were you involved in the creative process at all?
As far as the creative process, no, none of us knew what was actually going to be put out. But they did make me look like a drugged out hillbilly. Uh, the shirtless thing, that was kind of their thing, but I just went along with it. And the me being married to Joe, they never went into it was never legal. And the video that they showed was just a publicity stunt to get a reality show.
Yeah.
It it was just there was so much that they didn't even show that was would have been more relevant to it than just focusing on drama.
Right. Yeah. And it seems like you're a good guy who kind of got caught up in times and just an unfortunate set of circumstances. And maybe you were there a little longer. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe it seems like you were there maybe a little longer than you wanted to. But at some point, did it turn romantic with Joe?
It did. Um, it just something that happened. I mean, I was young, and I don't want to say that I was influenced because I wasn't really influenced to it. It was just something that happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's not, I mean, it's understandable. You go in there, you're a 19-year-old kid, you don't really have anything in terms of, shelter or job. And here comes this guy, this flashy guy who's got money. He owns this zoo. He can provide you a shelter. He can provide you a job, and he loves you. I mean, it makes sense that you do what you did.
Yeah, and I mean, I just did what I thought was right, and I went on with it, and we are where we are now. So
And look, it all worked out for your benefit.
I wouldn't
Because here we are.
necessarily say benefit. I never thought I would be in the position I am today.
And you are in a good position because, even though you may not have been happy with certain ways that you're portrayed in the documentary, I mean, look at all the fame it's brung you, and you're able to capitalize on that. You have a cameo that you're doing, right?
Yeah, I have Cameo, and um, apparently I'm the least priced person as far as the Tiger King cast goes.
Ooh, we got a deal. How much?
I think it's at $80.
$80. What do the other guys charge? That seems like a lot. I've seen some like $15, $20 cameos. $80. How long is the shout out? 30 seconds?
Anywhere from 15 seconds to like a full minute.
If you could talk to yourself 10 years ago and you said that you'd be making $80 per minute giving shout outs online, would you have believed yourself?
No, not at all.
So
I'd
we
have
could,
probably told him to walk the other way.
it's really incredible. And one of the things too, do you have an Instagram?
No.
Oh my God, John,
I can't even keep up with Facebook.
John, you have to get on Instagram. Facebook is like for old people. If you have Instagram, I guarantee, and you have like a few Netflix plugs and we plug you, you'll get that shit zooming up. You'll be able to do swipe ups. That's how you make money. Facebook is like old. Facebook is great. We're partners with Facebook, but that's like some old timey. You got Patrick, your agent manager on the phone. That's on you, brother. You got to get him an Instagram. Silence
He's
from
calling
Patrick.
me old.
No, you
We're
got to.
probably about the same age.
But okay, so we're doing the cameos. You've moved on from Joe Exotic. He's in jail. I saw that Netflix did an interview with him saying how he wishes he could have been famous. He wishes he could have been out of jail to see himself be famous. Um, I'm hearing rumors that Netflix is releasing a bonus episode this week. Is there any truth to that? And do you know anything about that?
You'll have to talk to Netflix about that one.
Come on, John. You got to give us something.
Nope, I can't. You have to talk
Nothing at
to
all?
Netflix.
Okay.
You have to talk to Netflix. Or you have to talk to my manager. So.
Well, I mean, I wish he would turn his mic on. He's on the thing. Maybe he can give us a little leak. I mean, hey, if you already got paid, what's the sense? You might as well just leak it. Speaking of that, go ahead.
Not when I have a contract in place.
Okay, good. So do you get is it just like a one-time fee for all your Netflix stuff, or is it like the better it does, the more you get paid?
That one I don't have
You can't say
any clue on.
Yeah.
I mean, my agent or manager handles all that stuff. So
you should figure that out because you got 19 million people looking at you in 10 days. You got to make sure you get yourself paid.
Hey, my manager handles all the business affairs. So
all right.
I'm just a talent for right now.
I like that. And you know what, Patrick, you better get your P's and Q's straight because I'm going to look into that, John. I want to be managing you by the time this interview is done.
No, nobody's going to replace Patrick.
No, he seems like a good guy. All right, so you can't tell us if there's a new special coming out. You don't talk to Joe anymore. Carole Baskin.
Oh, boy.
Did you ever have any? I know that was Joe's beef, but did you ever have any relationship with her? Did you ever have any contact with her? You knew his hatred for her. How did that manifest itself within the zoo?
The only contact I ever had with her was the 2 depositions that went on during his case with Carole. That was the only time I'd ever seen the woman or even heard her talk, other than videos or whatever. But no, I never had any type of one-on-one conversation or anything. So when it comes to any type of opinion about the lady, I can't have one because I don't like to think of or make negative comments about someone that I don't know.
Did you watch the show? Did you watch Tiger King?
Oh yeah, binge watched it in one night.
You went straight through.
Hey,
so you gotta have, on
it.
But that's the point. You got to have an opinion on it if you saw it. I mean, obviously, the majority of people think she fed her husband to a tiger. That's like the conclusion. And now Discovery is doing a TV show on her where they're kind of deep diving into that. Is that part of your life that you just want to put behind?
Yeah, pretty much just move on from it. I mean, they reopen the investigation is what's being told, but I mean, when it comes to something like that, I don't really form an opinion about someone I don't know.
Gotcha. What are you doing for work these days?
I'm a welder.
Okay. What else am I going to ask you? Let's see. I had one down. And so you're using all the skills you kind of developed over all those years in the zoo, and you're putting them to use outside the zoo. So that seems like that paid off in a sense, right? And then hopefully if this Cameo takes off and then you get the Instagram going, you can put the welding on the back burner.
Well, actually, the welding I learned in school, and as a carpenter, I learned that in school too, and from my family.
Gotcha. So what's next for John Finley? Where can we find you? What can we expect out of you in the future?
I don't know. We'll have to see what the future holds.
All right, and I got one more question for you. If you could say one thing to Joe Exotic right now, what would it be?
Nothing.
Here we are. All right, man. Well, John, thank you so much for hopping on. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the technical difficulties there in the beginning, and we wish you all the best. Anytime you're in New York, hit me up. Patrick, you got my contact info, and we wish you nothing but the best, and we look forward to seeing that alleged new episode this week.
Yeah, you might want to stay tuned for a marriage too. So.
Oh, whoa, hold on, a marriage too. You can't just drop that and expect us to get off. A marriage.
I guess you haven't been paying attention. I am engaged.
Oh, I know you're engaged. Is that your lovely fiance that I hear off to the side?
Yeah.
Can we get a little hello from her on the camera? Or she doesn't want to be on?
I'll say hi, but
Okay, we
She
don't
won't
get
get
to
on
see.
camera.
All right. Hey, that's fair. Well, congratulations to both of you guys, and we wish you nothing but the best. Thanks so much, John.
Thank you guys, and thanks for having me on.
All right, take it easy.